Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unique, Not Different with me, Shamla. Today, I have Donnella Rodriguez, who is a neuroaffirming speech language pathologist. This month, we celebrate World Autism Awareness Month. And this year's theme is advancing neurodiversity. And there's no better person to speak of it who lives within the community and gives her expertise for especially persons who are, I guess, in early intervention for autism. So good morning, Dr. Donnella. Donnella, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me, Shamla.
Sure, no problem. So let's start. What does neuroaffirming approach looks like and in speech therapy and how it actually benefits kids with autism?
Well, neurodiversity is, the buzzword I would say happening right now. But what it is, it's simply recognizing that every brain works differently. So it's not about fixing a person or, but really it's about removing the barriers so that everyone, regardless of how we communicate, whether that's with spoken words or not, and whether that's how we learn and how we interact. But no matter what, everyone can thrive. And we want to be able to support not only autistics, but anyone through inclusive education, through workplace accommodations, through accessible healthcare. We are moving closer to that, I would say. And early intervention in terms of autism world is crucial because it is in the few years of a child's life that it really is a period of rapid brain development. And the research supports that.
Yes.
And so gaining access to any kind of intervention in that window can significantly improve an individual's communication ability, their social skills, and their independence, really, their independence.
Yeah, because even us neurotypical persons, we are all different and we learn different. So once we start advancing that from an early age, you could be your best self. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So what are some specific signs in
Of
toddlers
autism.
or young children that tell you early intervention might be needed?
So it's tricky. I try to stay away from it because then someone may say, well, my child does that and he's not autistic, but I will try to give you the most scientific response that professionals refer to a manual called the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual. We're in the 5th edition. It's not that new, but autism has evolved. And so that's the criteria that most professionals will look towards to be able to say, okay, this child meets criteria for a diagnosis of autism. And there are 3 things that you must check the boxes for. And that is communication is impacted. So a speech delay is what often is the term used. That word delay is controversial because it almost gives you the hope that, okay, well, if they're delayed, that means they will catch up. However, with autism, the catch up just looks different.
Yes.
So speech is impacted and communication, as well as repetitive behaviors. So for little ones, you will find that these are the children who they want to look at the same shows over and over and over. But then again, so do neurotypicals, right? So we have to be careful. But there is this perseveration and this need to want to, it's a deep interest in something in a certain area. So you may find some who are fascinated with planets or with dinosaurs or vehicles, right? So that intense interest in a particular topic, as well as for little ones. And that could look visually as well, trying to line up toys in their play. Their play is different as well. And the other area I would say is that social aspect of that back and forth giving and taking. So a good telltale sign would be sometimes a child, as they learn to speak, they are echolalic. They repeat what others say right after you. So if mom says, "Do you want some water?" they may repeat, "Do you want some water?" rather than saying, "Yes, I do," right? That sense of self is not there. There's a disconnect. And the
Right.
brain just doesn't have that social connection, that need to want to socially interact with you.
Yeah. And this year's theme links neurodiversity to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. How do you see early support fitting into things like inclusive education and equal access?
Locally, I would say we're making strides. We're doing the best that we could. It is an overwhelming feat, I would say, not only in Trinidad, but globally.
Yes.
Especially as we're a society now where social media and the access to information is at our fingertips. And so we are now better educated. And I find that what's happening is a lot of parents are recognizing first and going to pediatricians with the fact that I suspect something is different with my child, and almost insisting on a diagnosis. Right? Now, a diagnosis is something that a parent would end up, yes, in denial. They go through their own journey of accepting. And I really believe that in terms of embracing neurodiversity and the goal for equality right now, it's imperative. I mean, we need it so badly. We need it to have parents feel empowered. That's one of my missions for sure, just to advocate and to educate parents so that they can better educate for their children, and be the voices that perhaps their children can't voice. And I would say that when we support autistic individuals through early intervention and through inclusive education, we, rather than turning them away, which is what a lot of parents face, we figure out a way to make it more accessible and to empower the teachers as well, because we can't blame the teachers for speaking up and saying, "I don't think this environment is best suited to your child."
Sure.
But on the other hand, then where does that leave the parent? Where would they send their children?
Yeah.
Then even the special education systems are not really fully equipped as they should be.
Yeah. And just to wrap, right? In 30 seconds or less, if you could change one thing about how people think about autism, what would it be?
I would say we have to better understand a child's, an individual, because children with autism grow up to be adults with autism.
Right.
And so we have to better understand their needs, meet them where they are,
Yeah.
adjust the environment for them rather than asking us to adjust them for us.
Yeah.
And really just play with their strengths and build a foundation for lifelong success.
Donnella Rodriguez, thank you so much. I know you will be on the program again tomorrow, right? So I'm definitely looking forward to that aspect. It's a pleasure to meet you, and it's definitely you shared a lot of knowledge through this segment. So thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
I'm sure I would have you again. So, guys, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of Unique Not Different. As I always say, be good, do good. Bye, everyone. Take care.